Let's try again now. Okay, there we go. So I just accidentally streamed to Twitch. There we go. Hello, survivors, and welcome to RSG State of Survival. I'm your host, T. McBenham, along with my panel, my two beautiful, handsome men here. Delete from State 125 and Daedric from State 42. Got it? Boom. We're coming to you with the update notes, or what we think about the new update. Let me see what the update name is. It's 1.8.60. Gonna do a quick shout out to everybody. Colossus, Little Dead, Bachula, hi, she's in our alliance. Foxy, Costas, let's see, Pikachu, that's a cute name. Of course, Delete's in there. Red Rocket, Affinity, thanks for popping in. I see what you did, McVenom. Did it go to Twitch? Did it really? Yeah, sounds about right. Thank you guys for tuning in. We have a special thing for you guys tonight. The devs actually gave me two sets of codes, and I'm going to give one of them now and then one of them later. And these are limited time codes. There's only a certain number of them, so it's more of an incentive for you guys to come and watch. And it's an awesome thing they gave to McLemmon doing McLemmon things. Really? Delete? Really? Really? So, yeah, so the first code I'm going to show you guys now, and that is actually worth 1,000 biocaps for all you early joiners. Thank you guys for tuning in. This code is limited amount, so get it while you can. Still watch the stream, but go and get your code while you can, and then come back and watch us because we're going to do another one at the end of the stream. Yeah, right? Giving out G's. I'm pretty impressed with little State of Survival devs now. So we appreciate that. Again, this is for 1,000 biocaps and 2 advanced maps. It's Affinity. And it's funny because when I said this, Finn says, they put my name in, Affinity? And I was like, no, it's just Affinity. Yeah, Affinity, if we can get you to play, you can get it too. That would be awesome. So our stream for tonight is just basically going over the update, the 1.8.60 version of the recent update they did. There's a lot of changes, and we're going to go to pick those through. I know that the guys are pretty excited about talking about this because I have a feeling they like it. There's some things I don't like about it, and I'm going to say what they are, but on the whole, I liked it. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
here we go.
I like it. You know, I mean, the dude that looks like Life of Pi looks pretty interesting.
Life of Pi, really?
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got a tiger. I mean, that's like, whoa. You know, that's the only thing I could think of with someone just hanging out with a tiger. Horror. But I thought it was appropriate. But yeah, no, the Alliance Funds thing was big. It's a big change, positive change, which was nice.
Yeah, let's go through a couple of them at a time here. So it says the update note said, greetings, Chief. In the coming version, you will be able to join Becca on the road again. By the way, did you guys get the Becca thing? Did you get the road thing? Hit the road? Did you get that, Daedric?
Yes, the event doesn't start yet, though, for us.
So it hasn't started for us yet either. I didn't know if it started for different times for different states or not. But the story, and I don't see it on the calendar. Is it come? Did they say when it was going to come?
No, generally, with it being Friday today, it'll land probably between Sunday and Tuesday is usually when they launch events like this.
Gotcha. So the new story events hit the road. They added help Becca and Sarge to gather resources on the road to get great rewards and experience new story on the way. So looking forward to seeing what that is. Then the supply lines, infected station attendant, the last option, rare gas cans, and birthday event added. Number 2, new story frame skins, HQ skin, March skin, and decorations added. So is this for the Becca Road or the Hit the Road? Is that what the skins are for, you think, the new ones they were talking about?
So looking at the skins, some of the skins tie into the new Epic Hero Basil.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I think there's going to be an event revolving around him.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because it doesn't really say what the skins or the new skins are going to be. I didn't know if it was tied to that or the new hero. So good. Optimize Alliance timer help display. You will be able to view which members you've provided timer help now. So we'll go over the rest of them in a minute, but what do you guys think about this one?
Unnecessary.
I hate it.
Yeah, it's a lot. It almost looks like you hit like a jackpot in a one-armed bandit, because coins start flying all over the place and you see names flash across, and it just doesn't really make that much of a difference.
Yeah, well, it just, to me, it's an unnecessary slowdown, like a little bit of more of a hindrance, where before we could just tap, 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 and yeah, your fingers would break from tapping during CC and stuff, but it was a quick thing, and now you have to tap, and then all the names scroll down, and then you have to tap again to get out of it, and then go back to tap again. Does that, I mean, I know it's not much, but just that little bit bothers me.
Yeah. It is a hindrance for sure.
I feel like, and this is me just saying what I would have rather happened for the Alliance help button. Instead of seeing names scrolling, I wish they would have made it where it was easier to do a help button, like a small little icon to the right when you're in a map view. Because I know that a lot of us are on the map playing during CC, but we still would like to help, but we have to watch what's coming. You know, we're watching marches and, you know, all that stuff. It would be nice to have like a little button to the right to tap. I know that it gives you the pop-up at the bottom, but sometimes that doesn't always work, or it doesn't work for me as much. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The bottom.
But, where you can just hit it and it'll automatically do it. It disappears randomly.
Yeah.
And if you don't hit it, it'll just like, it won't even happen.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, and somebody else said, yeah, it's lagging now with the Alliance help names. Foxy said that. I do agree. I feel like it does lag a little bit more, and it's just annoying seeing all those names because they go by so fast. It's not like you can really see what it's saying anyway, so it's pointless to me. I don't know if they were just trying to maybe, I don't know what they were trying to do with that.
No.
Felt like a recognition tool, but it was not implemented properly. And, you know, to the point, it is a hindrance because at the end of the day, who really looks to see who they're helping and what they're doing, right? So like when I click the help button, I really don't care what the person's doing. I'm just clicking the help button for the sake of clicking the help button, right?
Yeah.
Nobody really cares about what it is that the player is doing.
Yeah, I agree.
If they can disparage or change or look at who's helping, I mean, it probably should have made sense to kind of make that almost like an Alliance donation, you know, a reward for something like most helps in the month or something like that.
I think that's a fantastic idea.
That made a lot more sense. So this way you could see. I mean, someone was like, yeah, well, at least I can see who's not pressing the help button and is clearly on. And it's like, yeah, but that's not really about that.
Yeah, because it goes by so fast you can't see. Like when we're in like a heavy battle, like you wouldn't be able to see 20 names going up. Like I can't anyway. I like that idea of like having a log, like an Alliance donation log, but for helps, see who is like the biggest helper. And more times you will notice that it's going to be the lower players because that's all they really can do in some of the bigger fights. And I love that they actually have a way to contribute, and it would be a way to recognize them too. It's a freaking great idea. I do like that. So that one was a big thumbs down for us then. The Alliance help change. The other thing is let's see. Territory relocator added. You can get this item from Alliance store now.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think about that?
One adjustment. I think it's an awesome addition. So I wanna say that up front here. An awesome addition. The one change I would make is that you have the ability to select where you teleport. So just like the standard relocator, the Alliance relocator, the star shape, that one teleports you closest to your leader. but you don't have the ability to actually select where you go. It's a standard location. You can't change it. It's the same way with the new one. I wish they would allow you to select where in your territory you have the ability to place yourself.
Or even give you 2 or 3 options so that you're not like, you know, in an unideal spot, I guess. Like I could see them not wanting to do where you can teleport and you can pick your spot in your alliance because no one would buy the advanced teleports then. I mean, well, they would,
Well,
but you know.
You would.
You would, but I can see them not wanting you to have infinite possibilities. But I would say at least give you a couple options where you can move like in a certain area. I don't know. I don't like it. I like it. I know that everybody likes it and it seems good, but when you're trying to organize a hive and trying to like keep spots around the trap and stuff like that, and there's only one spot, we had gotten to a point where we didn't even want to put it at Alliance teleports in there just because people were like teleporting to the wrong spots and stuff. But I don't know. I know a lot of people are really excited about it.
Cheaper way to move around, you know.
It's
Definitely.
true. Yeah.
Bonus, you know. So it's because there are some people that are like, oh, I would love to use an advanced relocator, but I just can't reach my pocket. So I mean, it's definitely a good way to kind of get back to the hive and kind of, you know, you're supposed to just kind of port in anywhere.
Yeah, well, especially like when the leader is going to be at like bunkers and CC and stuff like that, and you just need to get back somewhere.
Yeah,
I could see that. The other one, let's see, was new plot updated. You can experience a brand new story now. Wilderness. What does that mean? New plot updated. You can experience a brand new story now. What is that?
That I was thinking that was going to be an explorer mission. You know, like, because right now Explorer goes to 12. Maybe it's going to 13 now. But I don't know.
Daedric, do you know?
No, from the wording, it seems like it ties into the events that are upcoming because there's a new storyline around Sarge and Becca and a new story around Basil. So it might be a wording discrepancy, but I do agree with Delete. The Explorer missions have been stagnant for such a long time that it is a high possibility that they'd be adding Chapter 13.
Other one is wilderness map zooming effect optimized. I didn't even notice any change. Did you guys notice a change? You did. Daedric did. What's the change?
I feel like the logos for food and resources are a little bit different. Seems a little bit smoother when you're like zooming in and out also, but it's still kind of tough to get that part where you can still see an alliance territory and then bases. You know what I mean? So that's still a little bit off, but I mean, it does seem smoother.
What do you think, Daedric?
Yeah, they provided a magnification option now. So when you zoom out to the full state, you have a much easier time locating plague zones, which I know was a constant hassle for some people's locating high level plague zones. So it's a lot easier now. There's a magnification option. So sometimes when you're in statewide map view and you click a location, it doesn't actually zoom into the location you clicked because of your finger tap. Now a little magnifying glass will pop up to verify that that's actually the spot that you clicked, and then you click it again and it zooms in.
Oh, I see that now. I haven't gotten a lot of time to play with this. I was working yesterday and today. That I see the magnification little pop up now. That's nice. Yeah, that's not bad. Let's see. Interface display effect of raised place optimized. And then state 1 through 241 can now make unlimited donations. That's the one you like, right, Daedric?
Yeah. And actually it goes to show, so for everybody watching, if you look at why they did only state 1 to 241 is because of the difference in game mechanics of 242 and onwards. So state 242 and onwards has a completely different platform than us. So that's why they only went so far.
Gotcha. But it's good for you guys. Look at him frozen in that beautiful face again. Every time he freezes perfectly.
Yeah.
Just perfect. But for Daedric's state, it's kind of a big deal because they're like, or for even any of the new ones, you guys are maxed out on your tech, right? Daedric.
No.
Oh, who's maxed out on their tech? One of our guys
Nope.
is maxed out.
Silver and Scorn were, so they couldn't donate to actually, use an advance or buy an advanced relocator. They were just, they were just kind of stranded without one, which I thought was crazy. Like not being able to kind of pop around is nuts. I mean, unless you're kind of burning caps, but
Yeah.
it seems
So from what I understand, the older states that are maxed on techs can still donate, correct?
Yeah.
I think that's what because I think that would be a big deal. And that was a really good move on their part for just, using a function that they were unable to use anymore and actually showing some older states that they are looking at tweaking some things for them. Do you think that was the complete reason for this, or newer states and issues with them, or do you think it was for the older ones that are max teched?
I feel like it was for the older ones. That was like I feel like that was episode like before episode 3 we found that out.
That was our think tank ideas when Scorn and them were complaining about that one. So yeah.
So it was definitely it's very comforting because I know a lot of the older states are definitely feeling left behind.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of an olive branch, a small olive branch, if you will, but definitely something.
Hey,
hopefully
we'll take anything right now. Everything's been crazy. I mean, it's not been really good lately, so we'll take any little thing. So the unlimited donations, there's some other things that I didn't see, and I don't know. I looked for other places to get update information written by the devs, and this is what only thing I found, but there's a lot of other updates tied into this. So there's that little sparkly thing when you touch the screen, which, I mean, it's great, but I feel like there was some things that were more important. Like we're still pushing for like the marketplace, use of the marketplace. I feel like that's something that they really, really need to focus on for their next update. Like that would be my number one thing that they need to focus on, to be honest. What about you guys?
Just pull the building. At that point, just get rid of it. Refund and like here's the refund for all the construction speed ups that you used, and we'll go ahead and give you whatever else to kind of compensate you for that and go from there. I will say that when I hopped on at what was it, like 9:00 Eastern Standard Time, and the game was just crashing over and over and over again, it was probably the quickest fix I've ever seen King's Group do. Because it was like our first bunker was just like, wow, I can't click into anything, and it just busted. And I was like, it's telling me to reconnect. So that was awful. At least they fixed that super fast.
Yeah. Didn't they do a compensation too for that?
They said we were going to.
Yeah. Finn said, sparkly, you're getting closer to getting me to play. Yeah. So there used to be you touch the screen and nothing happened, but now everywhere you touch, there's like a little sparkly firework thingy. And I'm really questioning. I think that the reason why they did that was for content creators, so that when they're mirroring their screen, that you can see where they're touching. Maybe I don't know. I can't think of any other reason why to put that in there. Like, why would you waste time to put that in there other than that? But I don't know.
That board click on is exploding every time you tap on his head now.
Who? What?
The guy that found your base and you answer a question and you get like 300.
Stop! His head explodes.
I mean, if there's something sparkly coming off of
Oh
your finger,
gosh, I'm like, that would be badass. I would vote for that one to happen.
pulling your own settlement.
Minions. What do you? I mean, they're a dime a dozen. What are you gonna do? So the other update thing that we've noticed is the I don't know if it's the battle mechanics or what have been changed. Daedric, I know that you've noticed this too.
Battle mechanics?
Or the algorithm or whatever they're using for their stats, they've changed. Because people have noticed that they're able to do 30s again. They're able, like our trap. And maybe it was just us today, but our traps are definitely different. Our trap damage was way different today.
Trap was wonky.
Yeah. Scorn said the same thing. He was reporting a fix on his end too. He noticed, so he saw the change in his state. I've noticed a change as well. I think it was very similar to the discrepancy we had with plasma when plasma troops were released. There was an algorithm issue with the plasma as well, with their base stats, and so enough community feedback was able to change that. And I think the same thing happened here.
Yeah. So other than I've noticed the trap, and then I think someone said 30. Was there any other things that people would notice with just the strength? Is it just overall strength? I don't really know how they measure that, like how they changed it. Did they just change the way the troops interact with each other against infected, or is it in general?
I thought it was in general, because it was like I attacked someone that I should have crushed about a week and a half ago, and it was just like absurdly penal. It was like I'm suffering big losses. Now, I mean, I'm not like the strongest player in the world, but like I've got 3 gold pieces, 3 stars, and I'm going against like a 30 with no stars, and normally that would be about 400 wounded, 800 wounded, depending on what I was doing. This was like 800 lost, and like 2,000 wounded. It was exponential, the difference between an old attack and then a new. And I haven't attacked anyone lately, but I did notice that today in fortresses that things seem to have leveled out, where everything kind of went back to prior attacks. So that's about that. But then the trap was messed up. So, but I guess trap is also a different animal, where I feel like those mechanics don't transfer over to PvP or towards like Plague Zone and Infected. I did notice that when I attacked a level 30 Infected, because I feel like those are fairly new to us in our state, that I was losing. I was basically getting, maybe 40 wounded, which was really random, so, but whatever. I mean, I think Scorn was saying that, their top max players couldn't beat, a Plague Zone by themselves. So I thought that was crazy.
Aaron said that the algorithm for trap was that they finally made T9s the same as T10s for bonus damage. Has anybody else heard that?
No.
I haven't either.
Because I feel like my T is doing more than T9s for a while.
Maybe. And then he also said, what's up with the daily missions that we used to have to do on auto mode for the bread energy? I don't know. What is he talking about there?
I don't know. I mean, it's always been fluctuating. I remember when it first came out, it was always 2 explorer missions, 2 hand missions that you just went out and they picked people up, and then everything else would be, a random mix of all the colors.
Uh-huh.
But now it's more like, sometimes it's 1 explorer, sometimes it's 2. There's almost, there's always 2 rescues. That's probably the thing that's probably the most common, or most consistent, but everything else kind of changes.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about there.
Oh, yeah. So I know his question. So the daily missions refers to your daily tasks that you have to complete, and they open up chests for you once you complete a certain amount.
Yeah.
So yes, those have changed over time. The way it works now is they're categorized. So for example, for troop training, there's different tiers that you unlock of that particular task. So task 1 is train 50 troops and you get points for that. And then task 2, which is also train troops, is train 500 and you get points for that. So each task now has different levels that allow you to get more points to open the crates, but they've just changed them based off of the updates that have come to the game.
You can actually max out the chest without really attacking anyone now. If you send out gatherings and you farm the right amounts, you really don't even have to go and do a plague zone or kills a certain amount of infected. You can max that out before really having to do anything that may damage your troops, which was, kind of all right. Just waiting for donations is probably like the one that I have to wait longest for to complete.
Colossus asked what's in the mug, and it's just water. But I do have to show off my new mug because RSG did a fundraising event for a Wounded Warrior project, and they sent some swag for us, and it says Stream to Serve 2020, because we're like considered helping them as streamers. They have a whole streaming promotion and streams that do fundraisers for them, and we helped with one of those. I think we raised, Finn, I don't know, you can tell us how much we raised. It was something like 4K. So it was awesome. Yeah, it was a fun day. So yeah, that's what's in my new cool mug. It's really neat, but it's just water. I'm being good tonight. Question, Venom, when will you show us your toy collection? I'm working on it. I'm about to set up this and then set up another like shelf back here, and we'll start putting some. Wait a minute, what kind of toys are you talking about? I'll show you my Star Wars and my nerdy like superhero toy collection back there eventually when I stop being lazy and actually set some stuff up.
Toys would you have?
All kinds of toys. What other questions do we have? Let's move back to his. RSG, that's not him. NZ Beast, question, are top players noticing a lot of losses still, or have they fixed the infantry so they are meat shields again?
Well, they've always been meat shields.
Yeah.
I feel like shields.
I'm at like 275,000 hunters, and I can't get over 180,000 infantry, no matter what I do. It's just the way it is. You know, the ratio of hunter to infantry will always be wonky like that. Can't build them fast enough.
Sticky Fang Gaming, hi dude, donated 99 cents. Thank you so much for joining us. He said, talk about how they nerfed the new heroes from beta to now. The skills went from 2 buffs to 1, and the base stats aren't that much buffed. So I saw that in a couple other places. I think Sin was talking about how they nerfed the heroes, but like, again, we don't have them, so I don't really know. Daedric, do you know anything? Do you guys know anything about the buff, the nerf for the heroes?
So what it was is the max stats for each of the heroes, although they didn't match up to the combo of Miho, Ashe, and Zoe, they were still so powerful when it came to rally attacks and even defense on settlements that the buffs themselves were actually providing such an exponential stat increase that they seemed essentially 1.5 times stronger than the combination of Miho, Ashe, and Zoe. Like, it was just ridiculous. So you look at their stats, but they're doing damage that they shouldn't be doing given the information that you're reading. So it was actually nerfed right off the get-go. They were super OP when they were testing them. And so a lot of the players in the beta server had provided that feedback that there was just something wacky going on with the buffs. And so the devs must have done a reduction to obviously to the buffs and to the stats, given the feedback from the beta server.
So Sticky Fang Gaming says, cough, it's bullshit, cough. I don't know. From what I've seen, they were really OP, like way too OP, and would really devalue all of the money invested in other people that people have already invested in the heroes they currently have. Like, you want them to be obviously better because they want to make money, but you don't want them so much that it's ruined your investment thus far. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, doesn't make sense from a business standpoint to do that, to where people would just be like, okay, forget it, I quit. These guys, unless I spend a whole lot of money on these, I'm over the game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I do not think I'm still on Twitch. YouTube does have stricter, can't say some things on YouTube, but. Question, what are we going to do? I started a new state. This is from Warpig. I started a new state tonight to check it out. They have been better. They have better packs, more features, and more ways to progress. I feel if we don't make an impact now, it will be too late. Yeah, I'll let you, Daedric, you can take this because you're in an older state, so.
Well, we've been talking about it for weeks, so I guess my question back to Warpig is, can you clarify who you're directing that to? Are you directing that at us as a community? Or are you directing that at the devs specifically? Because I feel that us as a community and us on the stream especially have made as much of an impact as we can. We've talked about it for 4 or 5 weeks straight. We've mentioned it in Discord servers. We've been having the conversation every week. And we have expressed strongly our thoughts between the difference in mechanics from the new states to old. So as a community, can we do more? I don't know. So I do think it would need to be directed specifically to developer community.
Agreed. Because I think we've talked about it till we're blue in the face, to be honest. We've said it every single stream. So other than the devs listening and actually acting on what we're saying, I don't feel like us just repeating the same thing every stream is really going to make that much of an impact. I think it has to be a community impact, not just a couple of us content creators. I know that some other content creators, Sticky Fang and Teddy and some others, have said that we need to do something about this. But, if they're not listening, they're not listening. So we might need to change tactics, or the community might need to get involved in really pushing for this. Go ahead.
It doesn't mean getting involved with the community does not mean going out and beating up.
Don't burn down King's Group headquarters, please. But yeah, don't bash mods over it. But really, just send in your complaints, send in your messages, and just get them out there. So it's funny. Sticky Bang said that about the nerfing, and then Aaron Knight said they're trying to milk the money, so they nerfed the hero or gave us lower stats of the heroes compared to the beta servers. So I kind of get what you're saying, that they get you all pumped up through the beta about these heroes and you're going to spend money, and then they nerf them. However, I don't think that would be smart to nerf them and let you know that they're nerfing them before you even buy them. Do you know what I'm saying? They already said they were nerfed, that they were too OP and that they weren't going to be that powerful in the game. So it's not like there was any deception to get you to buy them and then they didn't turn out the way you thought they would, Or am I wrong?
No, you're right.
In the beta, I also felt that they were super juiced up, so people would use them. You would use them in the beta more than just running around with your old heroes. If they were whack and they were just weaker than Mio, Zoe, and Ash, you'd be like, what's the point? A lot of people just kind of went ham in the beta server because it was I can destroy my settlement and it means absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
Everything that you've built up, you can destroy and crumble in 15 minutes if you wanted to. So it just kind of made it, they made it so everything would work out, and you would use them for both attacks and on patrol to protect your settlement, to kind of really test out everything that was going on.
Yeah, the whole point of a beta is there's two points to a beta. Number one, it's a sandbox, to exactly what Delete just said, sandbox mode. And number two, you break the game. The whole purpose of a beta is, how can I break this game? And that's what the developers want. So it's actually a good thing that the heroes were OP and that people said they were OP.
Let's see. Question from Lord Zizu. Could you please comment on the hero's effect description in the battle report? What information you get out of it?
Yeah. Go on Discord.
What? Say that again.
I said go on Discord. There's screenshots posted all about that. I think that's too detailed question for us to get into.
Yeah, that's a lot of detail. Question: how many subscribers do we need for Daedric to do a TikTok dance challenge? Kono?
How many subscribers do you have?
I don't even know. 5K?
Okay. If you get to 10,000 subscribers, I will do a dance.
Shut up. A straight up full on TikTok dance.
Sure. Why not?
It here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Finn, you hear that? If we get to 10K. So we have 5.09K, I think, right now. So that's a good challenge. I'm straight up marking it down on the calendar too. I'm putting it down.
As long as I get to have a cat involved or two.
Sticky Fang says, I just like burning people. That's why I complain about the OB. I mean, I can't blame you for that one. So, oh my goodness. Hennessy, Keep up the great work, Team McVie. Support the creators, guys. Donated 10. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. He is actually an awesome content creator himself. He does Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. I think a couple other games. Great guy. He was with us at our RSG anniversary stream. So thank you so much for that donation. We appreciate it. So Warpig, about the heroes, again, he says it's a violation of terms and conditions of Google and Apple. They have created a game we can't compete. Nope, it's deception. They made us believe we can compete with new states, but really we can't. Oh, not the heroes. He's talking about the old for the new, right? Go ahead, Daedric.
I'm just going to say, Warpig, as much as I support some of your disappointment, do not be a live stream Karen. Okay, just avoid.
Put on your mask, Warpig. Just put it on. Stop. We love you, Warpig. Oh no.
Let me put it this way, just bluntly here, and I apologize, Warpig, for being blunt with you, but if it was a violation of terms and conditions, King's Group would have already been sued into the Stone Age.
Yeah, there's people that are watching for those things, I'm sure. I
mean, this is what it is.
Yeah, it's just what it is. Yeah.
You know, they have no interaction with you ever kind of playing someone in that much newer of a state. And the fact is, if you have like a brand new base, you know, it's not uncommon for games that when you start, the initial packs are tremendously better than you went after your 6 months in. You know, it's just the way it is. The initial purchasing, it will make you pay for not buying those initial packs, because then you'll look at it and it'll go from 1,300% to 512% in like added value bonus. You know, if you really take a look. So that's just that. It's just the way it is,
man. Let's see. Question: how do you feel about the new epic hero Basil from Sticky Fang?
You know what? The way I approached that addition to the game is diversity. I think that is a really strong move by King's Group to add diversity to the game. A lot of other games have actually done that, where they'll add new heroes of different color skin, different cultural background, different, religious attributes, if you will. So I definitely think it's a diversity play. If you look at all the heroes right now, there is quite an array of diversity. So I really think this is a cultural move by the game. And I think it's a really strong one, and I'm really happy with it, actually.
Yeah.
Stats wise, do you like his style though? Like his skills and all that stuff? I haven't really looked at him, to be honest.
I haven't seen him. I haven't really kind of, I was kind of anticipating, like in the beta, what was happening was the skill books were gone. And as you just rank up the hero, it would automatically say, okay, he's level 30. So now all of his skills are, level 2. You didn't have to like buy additional skill books to get that upgraded. And I thought that they were actually going to roll that out.
You thought that was going to be a part of the game now? It's like no skill books anymore. Gosh, wouldn't that be great?
I remember there was part of a questionnaire like, would you change this if we compensated you for all the skill books that you've bought, in the past? And I'd be like, yeah, absolutely.
But how much would that be?
I don't know.
Because you got to factor in, you're buying skill books through like the Biker Carnival. You're buying them through all different ways. Like, how would they be able to even calculate that? Like, just put a set number on each skill book and how much it is and how much you put in? Wow.
Yeah. I mean, most people would do it to be like, hey, how about I just give you the new character level 30? And people are like, yes, please.
I'll take it.
Yeah, let's take it right now. And I feel like the game's in limbo. Like, I used to get a lot more hero upgrade book, from time to time. And I feel like those have basically decreased. So I've got to work harder to get somebody to 80, or definitely buy packs to get that, where I used to, get all my heroes to general fairly, easily just through my general gameplay and the way that I play the game. I feel like that is no longer the case. I feel like I'm kind of like, when I get like a big or I find a nice event or something like that that's going to give me, upgrade books. It's like I get 1 or like 5. I don't 100 it. So that's been, my biggest change as far as that. It's a lot harder to get to people to 80 than they were.
Yeah, I'm on the book struggle right now, trying to get my ladies up, and it's hard. I didn't realize it before. NZ Beast question: any constructive feedback given to in-game mods or SOS official Discord mods goes straight to community managers and then onto the dev team, right? That's a really good question, NZ Beast. So supposedly, yes. So if you go to in-game mods, what we were told that if you go to in-game mods and give a constructive feedback or you have a question, it is supposed to go to the devs, but it goes through certain channels. So I don't know how much actually gets to them. I know that the Discord mods do have channels. They do have, there's just a peek of my child there. Sorry. So I do know that the Discord mods do have a link straight to a dev, I would say a Discord where they can actually get information and get complaints and get questions to them. I don't know how much we get response or how much they actually read those, but I know that they do have an option to get, they have a pathway. So yes, there's a pathway. So if you, like, I think NZ Beast was, his goal there was to give us an option to get our discomfort with the way the game is progressing with the older states versus the newer states, get that to someone. And the in-game mods or the SOS official Discord mods, they are the place to go if you really want to get your information out there and tell them, just how you're feeling about it. That's the best place. Daedric, do y'all have any addition to that?
No, I mean, it's tough. It's tough to get to the person that really kind of can change things, like, you can't have a complaint about Windows and get a message all the way to Bill Gates. It just doesn't. It's not a simple thing. It really isn't. I think that the way that we're doing it on just having constructive criticism for both sides, playing devil's advocate, like, I know why this is that way because it's, so on and so forth. And I think we've played the, sometimes been harsh, sometimes been overly kind, and sometimes been right in the middle in that conversation every stream with that. And some of the changes that we've talked about on the show have actually come into game. So, if we keep chatting and you guys keep watching, that's always a way to help.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm actually going to make a point to put this out here, hoping that a dev is watching. We had someone organize a question and answers program. We were supposed to submit some questions, some very important questions that we all want answered. And the devs were going to take a look at it, and then they were going to get us a response in a timely manner. And we're still kind of waiting on those questions to be answered. So that is something that I would hope to get addressed really soon, because we were really banking on that to keep us motivated and focused in the game. And the longer that it's drug out, the less faith we have that that's ever going to happen. So the update on a whole is good. We enjoy the update. You made some good changes, but still there's a lot more to go. So getting those questions answered would be a big show of faith and show of forward momentum that we need, I think. So question, I would like to see, no, this isn't a question. Red Rocket, I would like to see heroes that are more role focused, not just better, but really good in one situation, weak in another. More rock, paper, scissors versus use the new heroes for everything. I actually 100% agree with this. What do you guys think?
It toes the line, because then if you don't have a particular hero, then you can benefit in that event, so it could backfire on you in that regard. I mean, I do get it. I mean, there's also times where Miho, Zoe, and Ash aren't the best equation.
But in general, right now they are for most things.
I actually, in Reservoir Raid, I actually got a tip off that, I should use a different hero combination than Miho, Zoe, and Ash, and it worked.
Really?
So I was able to hold I was able to hold a pretty vital piece with a different team than me and Ash. And it worked out really well. So, it's not, and also like, even against like, what is it? Like the infected painter or like the like little solo mission. I mean, Miho, Zoe, and Ash aren't the best for those.
But I think what he's talking about is for some more dynamic PvP play, where you actually can, like, it's not just he has the meta, he has the meta, and he has the meta, and we're all just going to clash heads, where you actually have some strategy involved with, I'm playing these three, so therefore I need to pick these three to go against him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just the strongest, it's the, well, I know what he uses, so I'm going to pick something that counters that. You know what I'm saying? Like a counter playing strategy. I think that would be cool.
That would be cool. I mean, it would also revitalize, a lot of the heroes that people have invested in to get to 8 that just sit and just kind of go, without use, unfortunately.
What do you think, Daedric?
Make Rusty the strongest of them all.
I feel so bad for Rusty. I feel so bad for him. I remember your first 10 levels in the settlement, he was like so badass. I love Rusty was like number 1.
Got that boot.
Can you remember the days in your state where people were leading their rallies with Rusty?
Yeah. Don't you judge me.
Those were the good old days.
This guy's got a shotgun.
He's got a massive beer belly and he's gonna crush you with it.
Yeah. I think the Chef is probably the character that I probably use the least. I don't think I've ever used him in an Explorer.
And it's a shame because I like Chef's I like his whole thing that he's got going on. I like his look, I like his backstory, I like his skills and all that stuff. It's a shame. The thing that bothers me about Chef is that his buff for tiles is not food.
Yeah.
Why? Why is his buff not food?
Well, you need the fire to start cooking. So,
come on, that's a stretch. Should be food. But I think Chef's a really cool, and I also like Eva too. I think she looks pretty cool. But the only thing that she's good for really is what, trap?
Yeah, Chef Sergeant Eva. Switch that up in your trap rallies. You're all right.
Yeah. Guys, I was supposed to buy this girl a Tiffany bracelet. Should I buy Ernie shards instead? What?
Yeah, game lasts forever.
So Finn noted the 10,000 subs date, and he said something about putting you dancing around with your cats watching. I don't know what it was, but it was hilarious. I can't find it now. What else do you guys, well, I'm looking for more questions here. I need to scroll up. What do you guys think on a whole about the update? Any other things that you want to go over on the update? Daedric, I know that you were excited about it.
Yeah, for me at least, this is just an individual opinion. It was a step in the right direction. Obviously, there's some constructive feedback that we have on things we would change on some of the pieces they implemented. But overall, I think a step in the right direction, showing a bit of good faith in an olive branch for older states. The fact that we got a new hero, Basil, whether it's legendary or not, the fact that we are getting legendary heroes, the sustainability, technology donation piece, like this is all steps in the right direction. Some of the key pieces that we've discussed that I want to mention again here today is the marketplace. I know that keeps coming up, but it is really an integral part to the game, considering how many other games use that, but that it has been shown as a possible function to the game, and they just haven't done anything with it. Another thing I've actually looked at the other day was state intel. So a lot of people have forgotten about this. If you click on the helicopter building and you click state intel, it was essentially like a storyline where every single week there was this objective that an alliance had to attain, and everyone in that alliance got rewards. a lot of games use that, but they continually refresh it. So it's like a new chapter in the state and something to look towards. I would really like them to create a new state intel and keep that pushing forward. And look at introducing achievements. That achievements menu in your profile has still been left alone. And, what would be great with that is to be able to, let's say an achievement was reaching 100,000 troops and you get, a certain number of points, and those points go towards opening chests, as an example, right? But that achievements thing, I think, would be a great incentivizer for people playing the game.
I love that idea. And they could even do it to where they're still using it in a monetary way as well. Like the achievements could be, you get a skeleton key or those keys to unlock a biker chest. So you still have to buy the biker chest thing, but you're getting keys through something like the achievements. Like they could spin it to where they're still making some money off of it, but using that function. I love that, Daedric. And I really do love the intel. Like I loved the state intel. It was kind of something like,
huge. Yeah.
It was just a cool thing that, you did with your state as a group. And it was just neat.
Just as an example, one of them, like there was like a race to HQ30. It was like the first one of the state intels was like the first 1,000 people or the first 500 to reach HQ30. So you had to be in that grouping of people or you didn't get the reward. Another one was you have to control a bunker by the end of this time frame. Like it was super competitive, and it really gave something for people to look forward to each time they got on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, give people a reason to chase the game. Whether it even be like someone brought up to me, like I wish there was a scavenger hunt, because like if you didn't have to, all you would look at would be your hive and the facility and bunker. Like if there was something that you could actually chase after, like you were randomly scrolling and you saw, something to attack. Oh my God, that's a level 32 infected or something like that. Let's take this out. Or whatever the case may be, let's port over here.
Similar to the maypoles. Do you remember the maypoles?
Yeah.
How many
people love that?
Yeah, it was great.
Burning, like I was like, that's 4,000 calories.
People were porting over like crazy. We're like, don't port.
Yeah,
but it was fun.
Arch, where people are so excited about something new, they were going crazy, and they were like, I was just like, I can't even keep up. I was like, I can't even take part in this because they were so popular. It was just crazy. So it was just.
I was taking part. I was like scrolling, waiting for the button to refresh. Like it was fun. It was something different.
I would go and find one, and it'd be at like 8 in 2 seconds. Wow. Okay. I was like, maybe I don't need this that bad. Let's just let the state kind of live.
It was pretty decent rewards for just a March, though. I liked it. What else, Daedric? You had some more thoughts on it?
Yeah. Looking at skins, all the new skins that they have coming out, again, a way for the company to make money. So generally for events like Christmas and Halloween and Thanksgiving, all that stuff, you had to be in top 10 to be able to get the permanent skin for the HQ specifically, if the devs would provide an option for people to buy them.
Yeah.
You're making money. So, here, if you buy this skin, it's going to cost you $13.99, but you're making money off of it. So you're not like, yes, you're giving people the option to buy stats, because that's the whole purpose of the skins, is you get additional stats, but it's a revenue stream. You're creating a revenue stream by giving the people the option to buy them.
I mean, there's the non-permanent ones. I wish I could trade them in, say like 10 non-permanent for, permanent or something like that, because it was just like, what am I going to do with that? I'm not going to turn this on for 14 days or 30 days or anything like that. It's just going to sit in my backpack forever. That Easter one is so weird looking. Sometimes I turn that one on just to really stand out.
I hate the Easter one, and I hate the carnival one with that big genie that's just like, ugh, I hated those. I couldn't stand it. They were so cumbersome and like hulky and just not attractive at all.
Yeah, I rock the one with the chick with the boot, only because it says join on the front, and it says superhero, because I think I came in the top 3 in that event.
The recent one with the torch. I really like that one. I think that one's pretty. It looks cool.
Very Burning Man. I do like the added like flame that shoots up every now.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool one.
Yeah.
Let's see. Patient Zero. I love that name, Patient Zero. That's a really cool name. On Warpig's topic, it brings to mind if they could call it the same game. King's Group seemed to have decoupled SOS into two different games in all but marketing.
What?
I think he's saying that they have, as far as the states, the new states versus the older states, that they basically just they have two separate games, all except with marketing. Like it's marketed as one game, but really it's two separate games.
Yeah,
I would agree with that.
completely. The beta was actually on the new map, with like the giant farm that, when you hold it, it gives the entire alliance resources and stuff like that. I was like, that is cool, and it's just another step of strategy that you have to implement in your alliance to kind of get there and kind of play together. So it was just jealous. That's all.
Yeah, I'm jealous too. It's another comment that he made. Patient Zero said there is a bigger deviation in every release between the gameplay of the two versions of the game. They are borderline in the gray area of misleading marketing. I don't know that I would go that far because if you're looking at the game now to download it, it has the information of the new states, correct?
Yeah.
So, and I think in the terms of service, they do have there that they can rebalance and change the game any way that they want. So it's not really misleading you if you're really reading your terms of service. And
you signed up to play the game that you downloaded.
Yeah.
And you're still.
This is the game I downloaded. Absolutely right. I think that's key point. Delete. You downloaded that game, and then the ones that are downloaded the new one. Not saying it's right, and not saying it's a smart business move on their part, but I don't know that it's like misleading marketing or anything like that. It's just abandoning your old players, to be honest, and not a very smart business move as far as money spenders go in the older kingdoms. But
yeah, never knock the people that got you there.
Especially the ones that are still spending a ton.
It would be misleading for King's Group to say the game is not pay to win.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
As an example, like if you're talking about an actual misleading statement, if they were to go on Facebook and put this game is not pay to win, that would just be outright.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. A free to play player could never, unless
I don't know.
Just never.
One state where no one else spends could ever achieve what a pay to play player.
Oh yeah, no, they couldn't achieve what they do unless eventually it equals. Because like, look at Mako. I mean, Mako doesn't spend a dime, and he's steady on pace with growth and stuff. Now, granted, he's nowhere near, the spenders, but I think at some point he will not catch up. Let's not say catch up, but he will even out to most of the state as a free-to-play player. So it is possible. It's just a very difficult thing to do. And you have to be very strategic with your planning and your hyper-focus in your staying in your lanes and your just your resource management. Like, I could never do it. I don't think
a VIP 11 or a VIP 12 or even a VIP 10 versus a pay-to-play, it's literally probably 8 months of time to actually be anywhere close to the same level to that person, because the attack buffs that you get from being that level of VIP versus free to play, you cannot beat that person. There's no taking that person out at all.
With the buffs that you'll get in your stats.
Yeah.
Interesting.
For being in VIP status, you just can't.
I had to go. Are you hearing this? The shower? Every single time I stream on Friday night, the shower.
Well, he
right
did
there.
Come make sure you were streaming before he started the shower.
Jeez. Oh, you're streaming? Good. Let me go take a shower real quick. That's the perfect time. Every single time.
Nobody can, and you sound like a crazy cat lady. That's did you?
Oh, good. You're so right. Let's see. Any other questions? FYI, nobody other than the product owner of the team talks to a dev. I would beg to differ with you on that.
Other probably talks to a dev, or maybe their family, the dev's family, probably may talk to them.
You savage.
Let's see.
Statement to make.
Day talked about survey and help and support a few episodes ago. No idea why SOS doesn't use it more. It's absurd, to be honest. You mean inside the game, the little guy roaming around for the help?
No,
Contact?
so
you're talking about the
so-
surveys that we get every once in a while.
yeah. Well, there is no surveys. that was the whole point, right? So what I had suggested a few streams back is that the developers constantly release frequent surveys to the entire population, and make them generic, so they essentially get results pulled in, because everyone gets the same survey. But what you're doing is you're providing feedback on updates. So one thing that we're not getting, so the update that was just released, for example, as a player, I would love to get a survey that goes through all the updates that were implemented and gather my feedback. So things like the Alliance relocator, things like the help button, all those pieces we're commenting on. The developers get the responses and go, holy crap, 85% of respondents did not like this function. So if the majority of our population dislike this, maybe that's something we should look at.
Yeah, without question. I did get a survey once in game that was so bizarre, I thought it was a complete joke. And a lot of it was, who would you rather have as a state or survival spokesman? Captain America, Iron Man, Norman Reedus's character in Walking Dead, and the last option was Scarlett Johansson. That was the 5 people.
ScoJo, definitely.
I went Norman Reedus. I was like, dude, I know I want the actual Walking Dead.
He is dirty sexy, so it would be a hard choice.
Dude, yeah. I don't know.
Why that survey though?
Do with Walking Dead or State of Survival. But that was one of the surveys that I got, and I was just like, whoa, Daedric said these never pop up. Let me do this. And I was just like, wow, this was such a disappointment.
Are they trying to pull like a Kate Upton, like the representative? Remember, she was the one for Game of War? Trying to find a famous person to do it.
Arnold with Mobile Strike.
Yeah.
What was it? Yeah.
It was Arnold.
Terry Crews just did Coin Master.
Really? I do love Terry Crews. I got a survey once, but it was on the Reservoir raid. Just, what would you change about it? And I just filled up the box with blah, 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 but that's the only survey I've ever gotten.
Wolf B, bet she saw it too. So I'm not just crazy. I'm just and crazy.
I think you're still crazy, but.
So actually, here's a perspective to share. This is actually really cool, and this is a really kind of epic idea for your alliance to do. It's almost like doing an employee engagement survey at work, where every single person in the business, or in this case, every single person in your alliance, you set up a survey in SurveyMonkey, and you just see what people like and dislike about your alliance. And what they'd like to improve, or what would you change in leadership, or how the alliance is being run, what events would you add, and things of that nature, right? You're applying that same employee engagement survey concept, but you're applying it to the game. And in this case, your audience is all the players, and the players are providing all this feedback. So similar, like when the survey is done, again, you get your polled results, but you're implementing changes based upon not just the percentages, but the critical feedback you're getting. But I wanted to translate that and give that an idea to everybody watching, that it'd be a really cool idea if you did an engagement survey specifically for your alliance on SurveyMonkey, to see essentially where people's heads are at and where the like and dislike is.
I'm going to hear so many bad things about myself, though.
No. Not possible.
That McMillan's total B. I can't stand her when she's fussing about the trap donations, trap sales. She's so mouthy. Whatever. I love. Speaking of the update, did you see about the cell donation point? The thing, you can't donate more than 100 now.
Oh.
The trap stops you from donating more than 100.
I am so of donating more than one, I don't donate at all. Also because I'm
Well, because
at
you're
it.
there for every chat. Yeah, but yeah. What?
It lets me donate.
Over 100.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
So it stopped it for me today, and then everybody else in our alliance said it stopped it. So maybe there's like some kind of mechanic we're not seeing because it stopped us. It said donation limit.
Yeah, it says max for me, so I get the same message you do, but it allows my cells to be accepted into the trap.
And you get the like 200 of each token type.
Yeah, still getting my coins.
See, you know how before it would give you the little flash of coins coming up? Yeah. It doesn't do that anymore. And then when you click it, it just says maxed. So we were thinking it stopped. It won't let you do it anymore because we didn't get that flourish of coins and it stops you and it hits maxed. But you're saying it still gives you the coins.
Coin dynamic or picture when it just goes, max 20 minutes. And then it just
okay.
Wow.
So that's good to know then that it's still giving you the coins.
Yeah, but again, that could be just an error in the system where me in particular, or me and a handful of other players are experiencing.
You lucky duck.
Whereas you guys have the actual intended update and some of us are just experiencing glitches.
I'll check it and kind of count my coins and then do it a couple times and see. I don't know how Day stays so upbeat when I have 40K players quitting because they are sick of waiting. Daedric's a naturally happy guy. Look at him. He's also very pissed. He doesn't like waiting either. You can tell it. I can see the rage.
And who made that comment?
It was Warpig.
Yeah, so, same thing in our state. That's really good feedback. Players definitely doing that left, right, and center. I think, for people to stay upbeat is to continue buying into the game and seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Like I'm one of those people where I'm really like, there's people who give it a chance. I'm giving that extra mile where I'm really just hanging on and trying to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But that takes everybody and their own individual will to do that. It's very hard for you as a person to get your alliance to buy into that philosophy. So I just say to players who have made a huge investment into the game, keep going. If you've put in, like I would say, if you've put in $10,000+ don't throw in the towel. Like try and see the light at the end of the tunnel and give it a chance. I'm hoping if State versus State gets released in August, that'll really reinvigorate the player base.
Yeah. Hopefully you play a state that's active and you just don't roll right.
Yeah.
But I've heard like, horror stories from state versus state where they're just like, we did it, but like they didn't, the other state didn't really care at all. So it was basically like stay 8 hours in Capital and just leave. It's just like, wow, that's disappointing. I don't expect a 23, 24-hour battle for Capital in state versus state, but something,
Yeah. That's where, though, they have the kill event. I think that's what makes State versus State so competitive is the kill event. But people look at Capital as the pinnacle of what that event is, when in reality, it's actually the kill stage. That's why they give you such a huge amount of time prior to the event starting to just go around and burn everyone. Like I would find it super invigorating to be able to plan out attacks on all these alliances located around the state, knowing there's going to be a challenge. And then, 12 hours later, I got to fight for Capital and try and hold 4 towers in the center. Like that to me, if you encompass all the aspects of the event, that's what makes it exciting.
Yeah, agreed. Because you almost have to find a happy medium of how much you're willing to sacrifice your troops for those attacks to have enough left in the tank for Capital, because it's not like it's a 4-day, 5-day span in between. You're kind of jumping from one directly into the other. So, yeah, very interesting dynamic. I can't wait for it. We are a very battle-hardened state, and we got a pretty kick-ass group of players that I really don't see a lot of people really contending with, within probably say 25 levels above us and 25 below,
statewise. Yeah.
don't see it, you know?
That'd be fun. Patient Zero, how about introducing an arena feature similar to a permanent reservoir matchup rules environment you can enter in battle? So this is a good that's a good suggestion, because a lot of the games that I played, and especially like Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, our main thing, we did have things like territory wars, which would be kind of equivalent to our capital battles, like big deal events against other alliances. But we also had arenas where we took our best team, or our best, like similar to Showdown, but you would arena it in your state, or in your shard of, like we would call it shards, like your set levels of states, like 10 states, and you would put it into an arena battle where you're just kind of like duking it out one-on-one and going up in a tournament style, which I think would be really cool. I just don't know logistics wise how they would work that, with the way we don't really have a lot of dynamic of team building right now. Because right now it's like the meta's the three strongest, characters. You don't really have a lot of dynamic as, like, I think it would work really well if what the other suggestion, we had dynamic roles where we could build a team with like, this character is better with this type, and so I'm putting more infantry in versus this person putting this in because my characters do this way, and with some gear changes to suit your characters. I think that would be really, really cool, but I don't see that we're close to that. We've got so much else to work on. I think that would be a long way off of them doing anything like that.
Great suggestion, though.
It really is. Good suggestion. Lord Zizu, question, is it possible to add troop damage to the battle report to know which troop delivers more or less damage? I said this in episode 1. It bothers me so badly that our report has all the information but doesn't show what our troop is doing to the other person. Like, I don't understand why it doesn't show our damage percentage. Like, that seems to me such an integral part of the report. I don't understand why it doesn't. Is there a reason, you think?
I'm confused by the question, or how it's being asked or explained.
So it's overall damage of your troop types versus someone else. So this way you could figure out statistically how much a hunter does, how much a infantry person does,
specifically.
Rider, yours versus another person using those heroes. It'll tell you, this is how many died or something along those lines, but it won't tell you the overall damage given out. It'll just give you the percentages, but it won't give you the actual numbers. So this way you could say, oh, maybe, using more hunters or more riders, to kind of like fine tune that damage output. Because right now, equal is the best way to go. In my opinion, and many others, equal isn't the allotments is the best way to go. But if you knew the damage output, you could tweak that to maybe make it, it's supposed to equal maybe 35, 35, 30 or something.
Right now, it gives you troops, and you look at a battle details, and the details of your report and a rally or anything, you get troops, damage taken percentage, losses, wounded, lightly wounded, and survived. So it doesn't show the damage given by your individual troop types. Like, I see that my, this gate took this percentage of the total damage that I received, but I want to know which troop type gave the most damage to them, and I don't understand why that's not in there. That was one of the first things. I was the first 10 levels of the game when I started playing, and I'm like, why is that piece missing? It didn't make sense to me then, and I can see it doesn't make sense to anybody else now, but like, I would think that would be a big thing. Would there be a reason to leave it off?
The only time you see damage is trap.
Yeah.
It's the only time you see damage you're doing.
Yeah, I see what you guys are talking about, and I agree. That's a vital piece missing.
Yeah, it's never made sense to me. It's nice to bring that up.
Someone asked me.
Look, there's my coffee.
Coffee time. Hey guys.
Harry.
Hey, Mr. McVeigh. Look at him in sexy shorts.
Matt, I love you.
He said, which one's that? I love both of the guys. All right. let's see. Gosh, I've got questions over here. Let's see. How do you, is the hero level reset coming to older states? Is it in new states? Red Rocket. Hero level reset. What does he mean?
No,
Is the hero level reset coming to older states? Is it in new states? Hero reset, level reset. Does that mean like taking them all back down and then you get all you put in back? No. What does he mean?
I have no idea.
I don't either, man. Rephrase the question or clarify it for us. Warpig said, question, I've seen it said that skins can be stacked. Does that mean if you open all your HQ skins, does that mean it will stack the 2% attacks with all that are open?
Yes.
Just
What?
wearing. The
yes.
one they
Every single one that is activated, they will stack.
I thought you could only activate one at a time.
No, you can activate them all simultaneously.
You mean frames? You can activate more frames and more marches.
No. So your HQ skins, and actually, because the marches are only infected troop march speed, so it's just the HQ skins. You can activate all of your HQ skins if you have like 14-day, 30-day, 7-day. You can activate all of them. Doesn't matter which one you have active, and it doesn't matter what frame you're wearing. You don't even have to wear a frame. All your stats are active regardless of which one you have on. So if you have 10 frames and you're wearing the default frame, all the frames you have in your possession that are owned by you are stacked, and that includes your HQ and that includes your march skins.
You dirty jerk. How did you not tell us this before?
I've said it in multiple streams.
No, you have not.
Yes, I have.
Guys, he has not. I know it. Has he? Delete?
100%.
Because that is mind-blowing right there, because I had no idea. I thought you could only activate one. I mean, you could like turn them all on, but I thought that it was only one that you were wearing or you had on was the one that was in effect. So
No.
I'm like going through going, which one is the best for this event? Like,
I've got like every full, like skin that I've ever gotten because I've never opened one. And I could just be adding like 14%.
Is that why you were laughing when he said, oh, they're just sitting in my bag, just wasting?
Yeah. So one of the things you'll notice is max players in the game who have all gold, research is capped out, medals are capped out, like they've done everything they can. They're actually the first people to absolutely obliterate events that have skins, because the only way they can increase their statistics is by collecting skins. So the people who have max stats can actually continue growing their stats by collecting skins.
So don't say you never learned anything by watching this, because these are tidbits that, how long have you been playing Delete? And you're like one of the top players in our kingdom and you didn't know this. I didn't know this.
I just cracked like 150, 152 or something like that.
Yeah, like I think this is like little things that the game is not very intuitive with information. Like it doesn't the only way you're going to know that is if you have a Daedric that's clicking all of them and then checking the stats, That's
I've more from Daedric than I have from any of us.
Hell yeah.
I apologize, but I've learned more from Daedric about this game than one source.
So I guarantee I'm going to look at chat and there's going to be like, oh, I knew that. Well, good for y'all, because we didn't know it. And it's pretty, I don't know. I bet you 50% of the players don't know that, at least.
Normally that joke, and I'm like, yeah, I totally knew that, but I'm not even going to lie.
I'm not going to say I knew that one.
Well, so great example. So the S&M people watching, they'll know this. So S&M Alliance, who's watching, they're in my state. There's a gentleman named Indra who's been with us since the state opened. And there's a Russian in my alliance named Mr. Best. And Mr. Best came back after about a 3-month hiatus and he blew at least 10 grand and just went absolutely ham, completely capped out everything, like within a span of a month or two, bought everything. So he's maxed out. Indra's maxed out. Indra is still stronger than Mr. Best. Why? Because Indra has collected every single skin that has ever been released in the game. So his stats will always be better than Mr. Best because Mr. Best has missed 3 months worth of skins. It's a deal breaker, right? Because if you go in state versus state and you pit those two people up against each other and they're both maxed, it will be the person who has the more skins that will win.
Wow. That is crazy. That is crazy. I guess that's why it makes sense. I like the, you know, because for a while it was like red dot would not go away on like my skins section, and like, yeah, I don't know. I was like, what? Why is it asking me to act? It's like it's brand new. I clicked on it, not. That's why. Wow. Yeah. That makes so much more sense now. I thought it was just like a game glitch, like, oh, you know, King's Groups, you know, back to drink whiskey again.
Yeah.
I'm so like bummed. There's so many times that I can think in my head that would have been so useful to know. Like,
well, even if you guys have the 14-day ones, it still works. So if you've collected these 7-day, 14-day, whatever, and you activate them all, you'll have those stats for 30 plus days, 45 days, however much time you've collected. So use the stats at a strategic time. But, you know.
So, okay, I'm going to just lay out my stupid out there for everybody to know. Like, no shame in my game. I'm still learning. But there's been events, or you know those things where you buy skins with like the hamburgers or Krabbies that you collect? Never paid attention to them. Never bothered with the skins because I'm just like, or marches or, you know, things like that. Those things where you can, you know, work really hard to get the skins because I'm like, I've got skins and I can only activate so many at a time. I'm just like not really focused on them. And now I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. It also makes sense why they're trying to like, you know, bring back some other ones that we didn't have a chance to kind of like take part in, you know, yep. Like I'm, you know, right now I think I've got the Christmas one where I'm just delivering hose all over the place when I go attack people. Cheers of hose.
Wait a minute.
Delivering Christmas cheer.
I'm sure there's a few fellas in our alliance that would love that. You delivering some hose around. So yeah, this is crazy. Mind blown. I don't understand why they don't put I don't understand why they don't put the update notes immediately in the news screen so you can access it when you click on the paper plane icon. They should put the patch notes in there immediately. I 100% agree. I feel like that news section is not updated enough with information, and I also feel like they have a wealth of knowledge in the community. They could put like tidbits, you know, here's a quick tidbit information about this or that, or about your skins that you don't know how to freaking use. You know, you can I feel like they could use that news and recommended information section so much more. A lot of people don't even know it's there in the little airplane, but it's just, they could put the patch notes in there right when it happens. I agree 100% NZBs. That was a good comment. Yeah, I see where Bachula said, delete. This is how far behind in chat I am right now. I'm just catching up to everything. Let's see. Daedric, feel free to give us any more like useful tidbits like that. Do you have any more pearls of wisdom you can drop from your mountaintop of excellence?
Yeah. One thing that people have not ever looked at, so just from your guys' point of not actually looking, like some people don't ever open menus. Like the menu just literally sits there. They don't ever touch it, so that's why they don't know what's there. One of the things that people miss a lot is if you click on your settlement and you hit settlement buffs, and you have the ability to pay biocaps to get, you know, added buffs. A lot of people only realize that it's available for war. You actually have additional buffs in development where you have the ability to enhance capacity, research, you know, reduction, resource reduction in terms of time it takes. Like there's all sorts of buffs to help your growth. And a lot of people, again, don't click or don't actually explore the various buttons that the game has to offer, so you never actually see it. So there's a lot of hidden gems that way where you really just have to read. I know we talked, and this was a few streams back, we were talking about heroes, where people are constantly asking questions about, hey, what is this hero good for? And my response was, did you read it? Like, did you actually go in the hero menu and read it? Because if you read it, you won't actually have questions. The hero menu will answer all of your questions and tell you exactly what the hero does. So I really encourage people to take some time out of their gameplay and explore all the various menus and buttons and whatever if you haven't done so, because you'll learn a lot.
Yeah.
There's definitely a lot out there, and especially when you start to advance your research, like I'm at a point now where the average research task for me is basically about 13 days. With like using buffs and things of that nature, it's a lot. So if you go into it and if you don't do it correctly, that 13 days is actually 17. So, so you have to kind of play the smart and really kind of work it. You pay to take these gems that we spit out here and use them for your benefit, because that'll make the difference between winning them and losing, without question.
So I just while y'all were talking, I tested the Alliance trap thing because it was driving me crazy about the coins. And you do get the coins. You're right. Somebody else said they didn't, so I checked it, but I did. It just doesn't show it when you're donating it, like so. And sure, Aaron, I will be secretly. Lord Zezo suggestions. It would be great to keep the capital open by force for 2 weeks until next round. What?
Capital open by force?
For 2 weeks until next round. Like, just keep it open nonstop for 2 weeks?
Keep towers.
Dude. Ain't
Towers
got time
firing.
for that. Oh my gosh.
That'd be a great way to see who's really into the game.
Whatever the hell he is drinking, I want some now.
Yeah, right. He's high on the game. High on life there. Red Rocket question: can you comment on the recovery phase glitch where zeroed players can increase troops compared to before the event?
I talk to Rocket a lot, like him and I PM a lot. But his questions today, unfortunately, are not very clear.
Yeah, I feel like, is he talking about recovery phase? Is he talking about for SVS? Because if that's the case, we haven't played it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Like Alliance Showdown, where you can't really change once they're locked in.
Oh, maybe. I don't know. Clarify that again, Red Rocket, for us. Let's see.
Keep thinking of the burger, Red Robin. As close
Man.
its name implies.
I love Red Robin.
They went bankrupt in Canada. I can't go there anymore.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
They went bankrupt in Canada? You guys don't like burgers?
We love burgers.
Well,
that
then.
Was a hot spot for me.
They start you with 7 fries, and then they go, "Do you want more fries?" And you're like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Here's 4 more." And you're like, "Dude, keep them coming."
Yeah, listen, there's never going to be a time that I will say, no, I don't want more fries. Just keep going with them. Let's see. Nikki. Did you see Nikki in chat delete saying, yeah, you can activate them, you just can't wear them? Like, if you knew this, Nikki, you were in trouble too. Yeah. Somebody just said question clarification. There we go. Red Rocket. Question clarification. There was a rumor that there would be a feature where you could essentially reset heroes and get all the level skills book back. This is if you made Rusty level 80.
What would you use?
What?
At Rusty, you only have one other hero. So you have Rusty at 80, and you've got, I'd never forget the spray paint. Ghost, yes. And you have Ghost at 0. That doesn't make any sense. So
I don't know. Ghost is good in some rallies though, right? Isn't he good for traps sometimes? No, not at all.
He's a gas collector.
Well, what about if you have legendaries though? Like the new ones come out and you want to kind of get rid of some of the ones that you're not using because you have nicer ones.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'd completely trash Nicola.
Me too. There's a couple things I still like him for, but I have so much more use for those books and fragments and or the puzzle pieces, whatever they're called. What are they called? What are those puzzle pieces?
Fragments.
No, the upgrading ones where you can exchange them.
Oh, badges.
Are they badges?
Oh.
Yeah, yeah, the badges that you use for upgrading.
Yeah.
But
no, I did not hear that rumor.
that would be kind of cool, but I don't see them doing that. Like financially, I don't know that they would ever do that. You know, I'm trying to think what benefit would they get from it? Because let me give you guys a hint. Every decision that needs to be made by a dev, there needs to be an equal pleasing the community or not pleasing the community, but at least one decision needs to be how will this benefit the company? So any suggestion that you make and all these like random suggestions, oh, let's make this game free for everybody. That's not going to happen. You have to have like an equal, it has to be beneficial for the company in a way that's also beneficial for you. That's just a tip with working with a lot of games like this. Obviously, we kind of get that, but they still have to make money off of some situations. Not all of them, but you know what I mean. Like in general, things that are going to make them lose money. I doubt they would do that one. Do you think they would? I don't think they would either.
No, now in the business, there's money. That's for sure.
Wait a minute. NZ Beast is about to drop something. He said, also, if you wait to use the skins that are not unlimited during SVS, they all stack and give you even more stats. So don't just open them if they give bonuses. Wait for PvP events. Noted. Let's see. Question how are, and this is from Red Rocket again, question how are chief level 60 players setting their talents? For events like Water Raid, are they putting talents into troop building, losing 24% stats for the benefit of better lethality?
That's a great question. So I'm at chief level 60. All of my stats up until the last portion of the tree are in health and lethality. I don't put a single one to attack and defense, because when you're doing trap, you want attack and defense. When you're doing PvP, you want health and lethality, because that's really going to make the difference in whether you win or lose. I sacrifice the lethality at the very end to maximize the 24% that you're talking about. So what he's talking about is at the very end of the tree, there's a troop training decrease.
You're talking about in battle? Or
yes.
You're talking about, yeah, okay.
Yes, in the war tree, there's a troop training decrease timer that you have to max out before you can continue on in the tree to get the health and lethality, but you're sacrificing 20 talent points to get through that, which is a 24% buff increase. I sacrifice the health and lethality at that point to increase attack and defense, because if you're a player who has really good gear and both chief and hero, and your medals are good and your research is good, I would stick to, at that point, playing with the attack and defense stats. It's just 20 talent points is a lot to sacrifice.
So that you're saying that lethality boost isn't worth if you have good gear and good heroes.
Yeah. At that point, but mind you, if you're chief level 60, you're probably a big spender anyway. Again, it's really, really hard to justify spending 20 talent points on something that doesn't help you battle wise. Yeah,
that's a really good question. So Eric Bullen said, see, we weren't the only ones delete. Eric Bullen said, so to clarify, if I use 3 headquarter skins with 1.5% troop attack, it will turn into 4.5%.
Yeah.
See, I knew we weren't the only ones that didn't know this. This is kind of a big deal. Let's see. I think that's all of the questions. I'm going to pull it again from Nightbot and we'll see. Oh, here we go. Another one. NZB's question. At level 12 VIP, do you have access to both trees at once? Can you use both talent trees, war and eco, at the same time, or is it just free to change?
It's free to change. So you have the ability to split talent points in both trees. Like I could have some talent points in Eco and some in War. The button option you get is called Quick Access. So I can quickly switch from talent point set 1 to talent point set 2. So essentially what you have the ability to do, I think it's 229 talent points you get when you're maxed out at Chief level 60. You have the ability to invest 229 points in set 1 and in set 2. So you can rotate back and forth using quick access. So what I've done is I put 229 in War in set 1 and 229 in Economy in set 2. So I'm essentially switching back and forth between War and Economy with quick access.
And to clarify, I see a lot of people that say that they don't know that you can still do split talents up to like level, what VIP level is that? Because I can do it. I can split talents, and I'm not even like.
You can always split talents. At VIP 12, you can just have 2 completely set, talent trees
That you
with
pop back and forth.
Talent resetter.
Gotcha. But you can always like put some in this tree and then some in this tree. Yeah. Question from Lord Zizu. Would it be possible to add special frames or skins to the VIP store? I think that's kind of what you were talking about, Daedric. Well, no, you were talking about spending cash to get it, like skins.
Yeah, so to your point, as you just said like 5 minutes ago, from a developer perspective, what could they buy into that's good for the company, right? What you were saying. So my suggestion is let's say they had a skin event that came out and you could purchase an HQ skin for $13.99 or $27.99 or whatever it is, but you're physically buying the skin outright. So you're not buying, all these packs and vouchers and badges or whatever. You're buying the skin just straight up for money.
Yeah.
Warpig question above, which I don't see that. But also we have had players invited for a 45-minute interview about new heroes. They get $50 rewards for this. It might be happening. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm trying to follow this, but I don't.
Yeah, for the beta, there was no reward. It was free to play. It was you just kind of had to know someone to kind of get in. It's basically there was no like, hey, test this out and we'll give you $50. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh, I think he was talking about NZB said that they are doing good things in my opinion. I'm hopeful the game is going in a good direction. I just hope they introduce dev Q&As at some point so they can get quality feedback from players. And then I think he had said, we've had players invited for a 45-minute interview about new heroes. They get $50 rewards for this. It might be happening. So I'm not sure about that, but I know that we were told that there would be, like I said, the dev Q&As at some point would be coming. So we're still waiting on that. Also, I was told that they would have possibly devs come on and answer questions on stream, not live. We would have to do them in videos, but this is down the road. We just want to get the submitted like written questions answered. So hopefully that'll come out. I don't know. Let's see. Question at 55 chief level, you can max troop training, and 59 chief level, you can max research speed and talent trees, right? If you use the fastest route.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't know that about the 59.
Yeah. I mean, that's
research speed.
I'm still at 55 chief level, and it's actually VIP was one of the things I used my caps for to advance my VIP level, and then I did that first, so I kind of raced to VIP 12. A lot of it was to get Ray and Rolex to be super strong for me, which I have my qualms about because it's rarely used at this point. It kind of sits on my wall. But then my chief is what I'm working on now. So that's a majority of what I use my caps for, not like fast healing troops or creating troops or anything like that. Sometimes, depending on the event, because I can't build anything. Whenever there's a construction part of survival of the fittest, I've got to go ahead and make up somehow. Because survival of the fittest right now is very hotly contested, and it's probably a great equalizer for for players that are lower that are kind of like, oh, here's my chance, because at the level I'm at, there's just no buildings that I can kind of put together. All the plasma cores and extra VIP tags that I have go completely unused.
Gotcha. Warpig. I don't know, man. You're going down a path I can't follow you right now. Sorry, dude. I don't know what's going on with the screen caps and screenshots and all this stuff like that. But let's see. Question: when do you think Nightwalker Chief gear is coming out?
So that was removed.
Okay.
Like it was, so when the game first started, because I was in the early states, like state 42 is still considered early, and based on when the game was released, they had 3 sets above legendary. Believe it or not. So they had tactical legendary and then 3 sets above them.
What?
So you had it was like something and then Nighthawk or whatever it's called. So there were 3 additional sets, and we're talking like the way they were priced, oh my god, like you'd have to be a millionaire to afford them. They removed them all very, very quickly so it only took a couple months and they just took them out. I don't see them adding a set back in for a while. Similar to Plasma, how they introduced Plasma for HQ30s, they potentially will increase Hero and Chief gear down the road, but I think that's 6 months. Like if you consider the amount of money it costs to get it, the more gear you make above legendary, the smaller the percentage of your players who can actually afford it. So there is a point where you're actually not making money. You're just forcing it at that point.
Yeah. Increasing a divide that you don't want that big of a gap too. Like you really, you want the gap reasonable to overcome. Like the average player to say, I could do this.
Well, Venom, take your state for an example. So talking about a divide, let's say the millionaire in your state was given that opportunity. He'd be the strongest person in the game, but there would be such a divide where no one could compete. Like no one could compete with him. So he could sit in a building for 8 months and no one could touch him.
It'd be so not fun.
Yeah.
They own 4 facilities and God knows how many bunkers. So I don't need to make them any stronger.
Yeah, let's not make it the whole thing. Suggestion. Oh, let's see. Mephisto. For plague rigs, adding in individual scores, allowing R4, R5 to see each member's score. It makes zone ranks more competitive. Thoughts? Oh, they're talking about for a plague zone, like actually ranking who got the best score in the plague zone. Like in reports? Is that what he's talking about? I don't know. I'm not really big on, I mean, plague zones are fun and all that. I don't know that would be a huge competition because you only have 5 members in there, but could be interesting.
I feel like plague zone's something that like we should concentrate more on, as opposed to just kind of doing it to kind of get the daily done, because the rewards for it pretty solid.
But it just costs so much energy though.
Yeah, the stamina is something else. But like if we instituted something where it was like every 2 weeks, cord your stamina, we're gonna go ham on plague zones, as an alliance, we can increase our rank, because the number 1 of that actually will probably generate more gear than trap. Probably come pretty close.
Well, now that would be a bad idea to like tell them to hoard stamina just for like an event for us to do it, because the problem is you spend so much stamina when you're trying to gather people to do them with you. So if you actually say this is our plague zone week because we don't really have anything else going on, everybody, whenever you can get on, save up your stamina, we're doing plague zones. So then you always have a full 5, so everybody's sharing the energy consumption. So that actually is not a bad idea.
You could be pretty efficient with it if you just use Travis. All 5 of you just use Travis alone to take everything out. You can make a pretty big difference and a solid dent And but I mean, it would take you that full half hour to kind of take it down. You know?
Eric Bullens just said if you click the magnifying glass on the Plague menu screen, it'll show you who scored the most points. Are you talking about like individual ranks, or are you talking about the state ranks?
Never looked.
Daedric's on it. Look at him. Are you checking?
No, so what that person's talking about is you if you click on a plague zone, the menu he's talking about, you have the ability to see your individual plague zone score.
Oh yeah.
And the plague zone score of your alliance and where your reward standings are,
Yeah.
and all that fun jazz.
Not the individual, like for each plague zone and like how you ranked in it. Yeah.
No.
Okay. Let's see. Suggestion is time for something like Northern Front or Fireland like event would be really crazy.
Yeah, I'm all for Fireland. I don't know what it is.
Just burning shit. That sounds cool.
Might as well name it Daedric.
Daedric Land.
Hey, can you imagine? Oh, I've got a great marketing idea. Daedric Land event. I pop up like doing my TikTok dance with my cats as a marketing tool, get people revved up.
Daedric Land.
Blowing fire out, all that stuff.
Led Zeppelin. Like going in the background. I could totally see it. Let's see. If you don't have research speeds max in talent trees, the research timers are 80 days plus. Yes. Let's see. How about Dev sponsoring? Oh, Lady Godiva said, how about Dev sponsoring state discords so we can have in-server competitions with rewards? Been trying for state 254 for weeks to get a response from devs.
The only issue with that is in order for it to be sponsored, you'd have to have a moderator in your Discord server, which means on top of having a moderator, and we actually don't even have a moderator for our state anymore, and we haven't for months. Not only would they have to be in the SOS Discord, they'd have another Discord that they'd have to attend. They'd have to assign a moderator for every single state, and that's 300 and what at this point?
340.
Like that's a tall order.
Yeah, we couldn't have one in our state Discord. We're constantly getting not safe for work pictures posted up all in the regular general nonstop. Just, yeah, wouldn't work. Question, thoughts on a similar event to Maypole, but it's a pop-up Gigacorp bunker with a huge amount of troops and a boss-like matriarch that gives rewards to the alliance that does the most damage.
Wow.
I kind of love that, dude.
Solid. Because then it kind of takes into the account of like who's got the actual strongest total alliance. So then you bring in horde kind of dynamics where it's like you only place number one in horde when you have enough people in your alliance that can survive enough levels.
Not so much strongest player, but your strongest alliance total, like based on numbers percentage somehow. Yeah. I kind of like that, man. I've tried to, I actually talked to NZBs because I love all of his comments. He leaves really good comments on the videos afterwards on the YouTube comments. He puts great comments in the stream chat. I've tried to get him to come on as a guest just to kind of chat with us a little bit. He's hecka shy and he won't do it. So I'm going to keep goading him because I love all of your comments, man. I'm gonna.
Okay, Beast. We're making the executive decision here today. You're on next week's stream.
Making you come on, dude.
You cannot say no.
Yeah.
There you go.
Just do it.
Or you could just yell at Daedric and tell him to get off your back. He loves that.
Sorry, I don't see your walker. Did you drop it in the hallway, Venom? Is that your IV bag I see hanging?
You are such a jerk. Question, Pan, tell us. Question: is there an optimal way of activating the construction buff and the fast development talent? Ooh,
Yes.
I want to hear this because I know the way I do it, but I'm always wondering if I'm doing it correctly.
I mean, if you are a person that hoards speed ups, you get 5 minutes. Any task you start 5 minutes when you activate that talent will go ahead and take the advantage. So you can go ahead and really fast track your base using your speed up, and kind of like you don't have to slow play it. If you do slow play it, that's fine too. But if you hoard and your speed ups correctly, you definitely go so much faster using that talent to kind of get it going, without question. And just like Daedric said, using the talents to go ahead and like make sure, like if you're short on resources, don't want to go hunting, you can use the buffs to go ahead and be stronger and faster in basically pulling those resources. There's a lot of people out there that have alt farms, to kind of make sure that your research tasks, because that's a big part that people forget. Doing research tasks is integral part of your research and getting that done quicker. That I am just completely taken by Daedric.
Yeah, everybody is. We're mesmerized by. Is that Pikachu? Who is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm starting to get their names. It's bad when I can name Daedric's cats and can't remember your states.
He is my one cat that has no teeth.
Aw. So he's as old as I am then.
No, he's only 2, but he had a gum infection, and if his teeth weren't removed, he would have died.
Oh, now he's just gumming it up.
Yep.
He's cute though. Let's see. Mephisto suggestion continued. I meant stars per week. My alliance is 6. It'd be helpful to see who has contributed what stars to our total. Would allow us to know whose contribution to improve. Oh, I think he means similar to Throwdown, where you can actually see like who's been putting more to this event. So if Plague Zone, you want to know who's been actually putting in some work for it and not. I get it. Okay. I may get a lot of people in trouble. It would put me in trouble because I do like the minimum Plague Zone. Yeah, Pikachu. Lady Godiva, be able to disperse Alliance relocators to members in need since they are useless to leaders without extra measures taken.
I don't think an advanced locator is useless to a leader. If your leader is a strong player, I mean, they've really got to bounce around a lot to kind of, for fortresses, bunkers, for facility, for fortress event abilities. So, stuff to say.
I use, that's honestly a good point because like when you jump to our stuff is during Thursdays and Fridays when I'm working 12-hour shifts. So I'll hop on quickly and I always use an alliance teleport like to get to wherever you are because I know that you're probably at a bunker and I don't know what's going on, but I know that at least I can throw some rains in somewhere and I use alliance teleport a lot and I'm R4. But
yeah,
the handsome one. They call Pikachu the handsome one. Is he the handsome one, Daedric? Cute. May have asked already, preference of new hero to focus legendary frags in first. Nobody's really asked this because Daedric and I didn't play the new heroes. Delete did. Delete, do you have a preference for the new heroes that you would throw frags in?
It really just depends on where you're weakest. Where your gear and your, everything's, if you are soft in infantry, you might want to go after the infantry hero first. Improve those stats the most that you can. It's probably the best way that I would go about it. There's no really stock answer. Or if you're like if you're someone that sits on the trap, perhaps the hunter hero is best for you also. So it really does depend on your character makeup as to what you can kind of, what you should contribute to first. Especially at VIP level, when you're getting blank frags and you're kind of going back and forth to see who you're going to use them for, don't just go, oh, I got first. You know, kind of save those for when you actually can make a thoughtful decision, because you can't get those blank back, and they take time to get back.
Whoa, Brad Harris. I think he was kind of waiting on us to answer that question, and we didn't answer it fast enough. And he had actually donated $9.99 to get that question answered. New hero preference. I'm sorry about that, Brad, but thank you for the donation. We appreciate it. I've seen from what Delete said, but from a lot of people, I keep seeing Ernie. And I don't know if that's because Ernie didn't get as much of a nerf. I've seen that in a couple different chats, but I don't know the validity of it. Do you guys know anything about that?
No, I think we would need to see information from devs specifically to quash any rumors or misinformation. But
Yeah.
I think Delete answered the question perfectly. So like let's take the new heroes out of the equation for a second. Delete answered the question perfectly. Decide the kind of player you want to be and invest that way. Like, you know, couldn't say it any better. Regarding the new heroes, if people are saying Ernie and the community as a whole is saying Ernie, then do Ernie. Because at the end of the day, I'm not going to argue with the majority of the community if they're saying Ernie.
Gotcha. And then everybody kept clarifying alliance relocators. I think I said alliance relocators. That's what I meant. Like, as far as an R4, alliance relocator is good for like popping over to wherever your leader's at, like in a bunker, if you have a strong leader that pops around a lot, lead stuff. But I think maybe they were talking about just for the leader himself. Is that what they're talking about? Because you can't use alliance relocators?
Correct.
Okay. I don't know. How would you? I mean, you would never use an alliance relocator. You can't, can you, as a leader? I never tried when I was leader.
If you really wanted to, you could drop R5 for a second. If you really wanted to. I mean, that's going a step past where you need, but I mean, hey, if you're balling on a budget, you know.
Let's see. Are we VCing after stream? Sure. If we can delete will usually join me. Daedric, sometimes he's a little bit antisocial with a big group, it seems like, but we can force him in there if you guys want to.
I'm only antisocial when there's a Karen in the chat. And usually there's a Karen in the chat.
Noted.
No idea what you're talking about. So strange. No chatting. I don't believe. Hey, we're up to 5 today. That's good. That's solid. You know, listen, we're a solid 2 hours in right now.
I know. Daedric's killing me tonight. Let's see. Question: how are you doing in Throwdown? We're doing hella good in Throwdown right now. What are we at? What are we doing right now? Delete. I can't.
We're in 3rd place. Champion, I believe, is our rank.
Yeah.
And literally, we get yelled at for not refreshing tasks fast enough.
I
know. Every time I come on, refresh.
Yeah, because not for nothing, we've got our alliance like on point where it's like, yo, if you haven't hit minimum, be prepared for the boot. You know, because you can get to the minimum, and the minimum in Alliance Throwdown is very achievable without spending money.
Yeah.
Things that you don't have to do unnecessarily. So, yeah, can you catch up if you have extra cap? Absolutely, but you don't need to go ahead and get there. Right now, I'm sitting at 12 members that haven't even started Alliance Throwdown out of the 100. Which is shocking, but like 3 of them have come to me and say, hey, you know, I've got real life stuff going on. So then we are big fans of real life first.
Yeah,
take care.
We are. And a lot of times those members will just jump in on the last day and like bang out their 1100 or their 1600 really quickly and catch up to it. So we don't give them too hard of a time. Now, if you're like every single Throwdown, you're the same person that's never putting it in, then we usually will do something. But yeah, we're 3rd in champion tier, and we're not too far behind the 2nd place, to be honest. I think it's 134 is the state that we're in second, that's in 2nd place, and then 186 is in 1st. So
Yeah,
Daedric?
we go against a lot of different states when it comes to throwing.
Yeah,
As much as that, and it definitely does show and like test for overall alliance activity, which is big, because that's where we kind of like build most of our strength from, is the fact that like our 100, we are active 24 hours basically too. Which is nice.
Yeah. The number 4 is state 19, which I found interesting. I am curious about one thing with Throwdown. Is it all states, whoever has reached the champion level, are in this all together in competition, or do they like kind of group it? Do you know, Daedric?
Yeah, so it's sorted out like a league almost. You're actually categorized. So you're categorized based off of alliance power and your previous standing. So you, like, let's say you landed in champion, you'll be put in a grouping with a whole bunch of other states that were champion but are of similar battle power to you. So that you're not going up against a state that's got 5 billion above you, right, and is just annihilating you. So they do keep it fair. Like, I've noticed every single week in any alliance I've been in, Alliance Throwdown has always been fair with the grouping, but it is categorized.
Cool. Yeah. How are you guys doing in your state in 42?
So
y'all do it?
The Russian group I'm in, as disorganized as we are, as I mention each week, with things like Reservoir Raid and Capital, Throwdown is actually something we're exceptional in. We're first every single week in our grouping and have stayed champion every week.
Sick. Yeah, we've been a champion for a while now, and it's definitely it's solid. I mean, the rewards for Throwdown are probably, I would say, probably the most fair and strongest, just to kind of get your tiers and opening that up, because it's crucial pieces that you get from Throwdown. So.
Let's see. I think that's it. I think that's it for our questions. Unless I'm missing one, but I'm sorry guys, my Nightbot, Finn just told me right before we got on, oh yeah, Nightbot's not working really well. I'm like, great. I do a terrible job with Nightbot, but I think I caught all of the questions. If I didn't catch your questions, you feel free to leave a comment in the video or hit us up on Discord. Oh, code. Forgot. Second code. So this is a special surprise. We have the second code for the stream, specifically for the RSG State of Survival stream, is code Voyage, 1,000 biocaps, 2 advanced maps. These are limited amounts, so make sure you go ahead and get in the game and get them before the code gets spread around. This is just for our stream. So I don't know exactly how many there are, but they did say they were limited. So the first code was, gosh, what was it, guys? Affinity?
Affinity, yeah.
There's the first code. Oh, let me get to it. First code was Affinity, 1,000 biocaps there, 2 advanced maps. And then the second code is Voyage, 1,000 biocaps, 2 advanced maps. So nice. We gave out 2K on the stream. So guys, make sure that you get your codes in tonight, because I'm sure like on the SOS Discord, that thing's going to be posted and spread around quick. Delete. We probably need to put it out to our alliance quickly. But we appreciate you guys joining us. Guys, do you have anything else going on? Anything else to say about anything?
Yeah. Warpig, don't be a Karen.
Warpig, if you go into the Discord and go into VC, don't be a Karen today. He'll bounce out.
We have enough Karens in the world right now. We don't need more.
Yeah.
They're multiplying.
If you haven't joined the RSG Discord server, the link is down in the description on the stream. We have a huge Discord. I know that some people join it and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed with how much stuff you guys have going on. But RSG does play a lot of games. We play a shit ton of games. That's just what we do. So there's a lot of them in there. If you're not a fan of any of those and you only want the specific State of Survival one, mute all the rest. Go in and mute the rest of them and just have your State of Survival up if you want. But there is a lot of fun streams that we do. So please check that out. We also have the VC that we will occasionally hop into after a stream. So I think that's it. Thanks, Delete. Thanks, Daedric. Thank you, all you guys in chat, for all the great questions. You guys are awesome. NZ Beast, I'm going to be hitting you up later. And we will see you guys next Friday. Thanks. Happy hunting.
Beast, be on the stream. Don't be a Karen. All right.